6-319-3868. Tell him Callie House sent you. From Bruce's Beach to the California Task Force, the Golden State is a trailblazer when it comes to reparations. The world is watching. We must rise to the historical moment and set a precedent for cash payments along with legislative remedies and policies addressing the systemic badges of slavery and Jim Crow. We must insist on measures significant enough to help close the racial wealth gap. California must stand for cash, and the time for reparations is now. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Dominique DePrima. We welcome your comments.
I know my parents loved me, stand behind me, come what may. I know now that I'm ready, yeah, for I finally heard them say, it's a different world, ooh, than where you come from. The city is now, yeah, here's our chance to make it. And if we focus on our goal,
I hate stepping on the Queen.
you can
She sounds so good. I was in a fight the other day with some people at a restaurant, and these are conversations one should never get involved in. We had a conversation about the greatest album ever.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. Mike, turn these mics on, Miles. There you go. Talking about the greatest album ever made. And
Yeah.
I said, well, that's a pretty difficult question, but I can give you my top 5.
Okay.
And of my top 5, I put this one. I mean, the Queen, that is, at number 1. Her Amazing Grace album.
It's incredible.
You can't, we talked about that. We talked about, of course, Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
Songs in the Key of Life. I mean, it was just one of those barroom brawls.
Yes.
Just wasting time.
Yes.
But
for which there can never be a winner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's too subjective.
It's too subjective, exactly. But it was as all art is, right?
Yes.
Speaking of 2 brilliant artists, but it was a great conversation. We had fun just kicking it around. But anyway, there's the Queen.
The thing about that is you can never find a winner, but you can always find one that gets disqualified right away.
There you go.
Yes.
Somebody says, well, you know that song by that one-hit wonder? Like, no, you should stop talking. Don't ever enter this conversation again, right?
Point well taken. So that's how black people do. We just jumped into a conversation. I ain't told you who I am. I ain't told you who they are. Just 3 Negroes talking.
I think that's the name of this segment. I'm going to read this segment should be called Three Negroes Talking.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to tune in.
She is Cree Summer. He is Darryl Bell. They are 2 of the stars of Different World. That's why we started, of course, with the theme song. Speaking of a barroom brawl, let's talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
But I'm delighted to have them in the studio here. In case you are not watching, turn on the app, go to the website, whatever. You can see them. They're here with me in studio right now. But they are joining me for a conversation in this hour about all things Different World and their own careers. But the cast and crew of Different World has come together all these years later for a reunion tour to benefit HBCUs, and we'll talk about that as we move through this hour. But first, since we talked about the Queen and her version of the theme song for Different World, there were what, 3?
Yes.
3.
All right.
Boys to Men,
Boys to
Phoebe
Men.
Snow,
Okay.
and Aretha Franklin.
Do we want to fight about this?
Well,
No, there's no hands down.
Do we want to fight about this?
No,
Oh,
no,
what?
you go first. You go first.
Oh, well,
this is the musician. So
Okay,
I'm
well,
let her
I'm gonna put them in order. I'm gonna say Aretha is number 1,
Okay.
Phoebe is 2nd, and Boys to Men are last for me.
Okay. And Darryl Bell?
So I'm first going to say, Tavis Smiley, it is spectacular to be
Yes!
with you, my friend. I cannot come into your house without acknowledging
Thank you,
my friend and the journalist and host and emperor of your own empire.
Yes, let's acknowledge
Yeah.
owner of
Yes.
one of 5
Yeah.
black-owned talk
That's
radio
right.
stations.
No, I
It's an
appreciate it.
honor.
I
So,
appreciate it.
it's rare that I get to come and give my friend his flowers of how long Tavis and I have been
go way
friends
back.
since he was working for Tom Bradley.
That's right.
Really?
And
Yeah.
his father.
Yes.
I was lecturing somebody yesterday, telling them,
Yeah.
they said, do you know Darryl Bell? I said, do I know him? I know this Negro for three decades.
Mm-hmm.
But more
Wow.
important, before I knew Darryl, I knew his father,
Yes.
Father.
Travers Bell.
Yes.
And I always make sure people pronounce that first name
Correct.
right.
It's not Travis.
Not Travis. It's Travers. Travers Bell. As a matter of fact, let me just, we got an hour. We're gonna cover a lot of ground. Just take a minute, right quick, and tell the audience about your iconic father. God rest his soul, but he's iconic. Tell him about your dad.
My father, Travers J. Bell Jr., was the first African-American member of the New York Stock Exchange. He was
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Pioneer in municipal finance and trailblazer for black, minority, and women-owned firms on Wall Street. He and Reggie Lewis were
of Beatrice fame.
Fame.
His widow, Loida, was just here not too long ago.
Is that right?
Loida Lewis. Yeah.
There you go. Well,
she has a book out.
Yes. So Reggie, my dad, and the Procopes of Ernesto Procope of Procope Insurance were all in the same building at 99 Wall Street. And you know, my father was one of those folks with a seat on the exchange. With respect to, I won't go too far down this rabbit hole, but with respect to IPOs, so if you're taking a stock public, those are relationship deals that are made. So in order for any company, they get to choose what investment bank they'd like to represent them when they take their company public. And that can be hard for outsiders to get involved with. My dad's vision was on municipal finance, black folks pay taxes. So for sewers and bridges and all of these projects for which there are government bonds issued to pay for them, since black folks pay taxes, 10% of all of these municipal finance deals should be done with black-owned firms.
Hold that thought. Just getting started. You're going to finish hearing more about his iconic father, Travers Bell, and then we'll talk more about the life and legacy of Darryl Bell and the life and legacy of Cree Summer. They're here in studio as we talk about the reunion of the cast of A Different World, their reunion tour to benefit HBCUs. It's going to be a great hour. I can tell already. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hey y'all, Mona Swain here from Target's new YouTube series, My Cart is Full, where we feature black founders and creators highlighting their connection to our community. As an actor and content creator, I love using my voice to inspire young black women who look like me. When it comes to feeding my shine, seeing myself reflected in black-owned and founded products at Target brings me joy. Together, we are Black Beyond Measure. Learn more at target.com/Black Beyond Measure.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit-on-the-go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
1455 Frazee Road, Suite 1050, San Diego, California, 92108. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey LA, be an eco-friendly hero. Join LADWP's Power Savers program and use your smart thermostat to help ease strain on the electric grid during peak electric demand. You'll save electricity while you lower your bill. Plus, as a power saver, you can get up to $185 in prepaid gift cards. Don't have a smart thermostat? No problem. Shop and sign up at ladwp.com/Power Savers program. That's ladwp.com/Power Savers program. To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Sounds different, huh? This is Tavis Smiley.
I know my parents love me, stand behind me, come what may. I know now that I'm ready, because I finally heard them say it's a different world from where you come from.
So Cree Summer ranked the 3 theme songs, A Different World. And your first was
Aretha.
Your second is
Phoebe Snow.
And the third,
Boys to Men.
We'll play that one a little later. We're gonna get all 3 of them in. Give everybody love as we talk in this hour with Cree Summer and Darryl Bell.
Yes.
2 of the stars of A Different World. They are now on a reunion tour that is benefiting HBCUs. We'll work our way into that as we move through this hour. I'm glad I have them for the hour. I haven't seen either of them for a long time, and just honored and delighted to have them in studio. So, Darryl, you were talking about your daddy, your iconic father. Finish that story.
So, I left off saying when he decided that municipal finance, because black folks paid taxes, 10% of all municipal finance bond deals should be done with minority firms.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, there was only one, and that was his.
Yep.
Wow.
And that opened the door for the whole idea of set-asides and doing business with minority firms. And it opened the door to this boom of other minority investment banking firms, and then Hispanic investment banking firms, Asian investment banking firms, women-owned investment banking firms. And additionally, my dad owned a chocolate manufacturing company.
That's the sweetest part of the story.
Yes. It's sweet, literally.
Ba-dum-bum.
And they were, we were always ranked in Black Enterprise's top 100 black-owned companies.
Right.
Because my father's mantra was, in order for black folks in America to have economic power, you needed to be producers, not consumers.
That's right.
As long as you consume, you'll never have any control.
That's right.
That was in 1971. What's changed? Nothing.
Nothing. Same mantra.
And so, to the extent that black folks are still trying to have as a community, not individually, we can look at Robert Smith and Dave Stewart and all the other most successful entrepreneurs, but as a community, our economic power still is not channeled in a way that it most benefits our communities.
Yeah.
And it's not dissimilar when you hear folks talk about the Hispanic community and how much their, buying power represents like India. But how much can you control of it?
That's right.
Because until you can control it, you can't leverage it. So anyway, that was Dad. And what was one of the really great things, very cool, and we're going to talk about what we came here for. When Black Enterprise had their 40th anniversary, they had an event where they celebrated the 40 titans of the entrepreneurs in the magazine's history. And my dad was among the 40. And at the event, I sat next to Tom Burrell from Burrell Communications,
in Chicago,
and across from John Rogers.
Wow.
So that was like the Chicago.
Two Chicago guys.
3.
Yeah,
my
your dad from Chicago.
Dad
That's right.
So it was magnificent. And Dad and Tom were friends. And John actually started out there was an opportunity for my dad to hire John at one point. Yeah. But Ariel Capital was one of our clients for a really long time. Yeah. So
there is no John, and John will tell you this. There is no John, there's no Ariel, there's no Travers Bell. He will tell you that. For those who didn't know the backstory.
Incredible daddy. Yeah. I know the backstory, but it always blows me away when I hear it again. I mean, your father really was an incredible human being.
And at some other time, Tavis, we'll talk about writing I need to write the book of what happened to the firm and what that means even for my dad in terms of planning out what your estate plan looks like.
Wow.
For all of black folks who talk about generational wealth, even for him, there was additional planning that he should have made didn't make. And that, as opposed to, fake news that you read on the internet about what really happened behind, the impact of his two companies. In short, when someone passes away and Uncle Sam shows up and says, by the way, you owe me 65% of your estate today.
Yeah.
Most folks ain't ready for that
That's
call.
it.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, we
there's
would.
that.
I do want to talk about that because that story, I believe, will be instructive and informative.
Are you going to
for
write this
audience.
book about your father?
You should.
I am.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone say there's a movie there.
There is a movie.
There is a movie there.
But Darryl, please.
Yeah. We're gonna get
First
to
one on the stock exchange, first brother. That's
I'm
a big
telling
deal.
you, it
That's
is
a
huge.
big deal.
Yes,
All right.
and not many people know.
So let me. Now we're gonna switch to. Let me tell you, I'm gonna go chronological, but it's also sentimental.
Okay.
So Phoebe Snow was number one for me.
Okay.
Because it harkens
First
back
season.
to the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the beginning was when it was its sweetest. It was all new for all of us. And those memories are really special. So Aretha would be second because that's the legacy that we have. So when we got Cree and Charnel and everyone came in, and Debbie in the second season, it would be that. And Boyz II Men would be third because by the time we were coming to the end
of the road.
But I'll be here all weekend.
Make sure to tip your waitress.
2 shows nightly, yes.
Boyz II Men has the distinction of one when Walter Oates left a different world. In the pit, everyone sang, "It's so hard to say goodbye."
Yeah.
And then they have the most upbeat of all the songs.
Yeah.
So it's time to party. It's time to go home, so we might as well dance our way out of here. That's right.
I'm working my way into all these different world stories.
Yes.
I'm going to give you 2 minutes here because you reminded me of this. I'd forgotten about this. This may have been one of the last times you were in this building many, many years ago. Tell the quick story that you were telling me that you reminded me. I'd forgotten about, frankly.
Oh, it was one of the most magnificent evenings. Minister Louis Farrakhan was here, and Tavis had arranged a gathering of industry entertainment titans. Said the entertainer was here, and I'm trying to remember all
Everybody was here. Yeah.
And so
it was a Black Hollywood gathering, private, invitation only. Males and females.
No,
okay.
No, everybody.
Everybody was here.
With the brother minister in the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when he was, and he was in rare form that night. I mean, he's just, there are times when you listen to him and he just knock your socks off. That was one of those nights. And so it was toward, we had been there for a couple hours and we had listened, and it was right before I think maybe the second Million Man March. So I said to Brother Minister, bottom line, how can we help? And then he answered it. So then everyone, by the time it dispersed, we were traveling around the building, and Minister was here in the back of the office. So I went, because I had never met him, I went to go introduce myself. I was like, Minister Farrakhan, it's a pleasure to meet you. He said, oh, yes, Brother Bottom Line.
I love that.
It was
Brother Bottom Line.
Brother Bottom Line.
Yes. Bottom line.
He has a sense of humor. But that was a great night. I've owned this building for almost 25, 30 years, something like that.
Yes.
And I've had so many gatherings in this building. So many people have been in this building for interviews and for meetings and for conversations. And that was a great night.
It was.
When Black Hollywood came down to Crenshaw. To sit with the Minister Louis Farrakhan for a few hours. It was a great night. I'm glad you were here, and I'm glad you're back here again today. Yeah. So Cree, we got to get you in this conversation. Tell me.
Since you're here.
Since you're here,
Yeah, sure.
When you look back on this, Darryl laid out when you all came into the scene and how the show expands and grows with the cast and the storylines. When you look back on this experience with all that you have done and continue to do, what do you think?
What do I think when I look back on the experience?
On this experience, yeah.
Well, I think it's more what do I feel
when
I look back on this experience. I mean, this show for all of us changed the trajectory of our lives. So it's a profound and monumental moment, not just as performers, but as human beings. We all grew up together. We all learned about this business at the same time, and we all decided that we'd continue to hang out on purpose forever. So it's, I don't even know how to quantify it. It's so profound.
Unpack that phrase for me. Hang out on purpose.
Well, there's people that you have to see because you do business with them, And then there's people that you see because your heart wants to hang out with them again. So I say hang out on purpose because we love each other, and we get together just because we want to.
Yeah. What? Let me interrogate that.
Let me interrogate.
No,
that.
Hold on, put the light right
Oh my
there.
God, that sounds so uninviting. Okay, whip it out. Okay. Great.
We all have had experiences, whether we're in this business or beyond. We all have experiences where we are in situations, to your point, where we're not hanging out on purpose.
Yes.
You know, it's
we're hanging out for the money.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or some other motivation.
Right.
But it does mean something to me in this business or beyond when you are with a group of people who you truly love.
Yes.
Most Americans listening to us right now across this country do not get a chance to go to work every day and work with people who they love.
I agree 1,000%.
Talk to me about that.
This is this is a rarity.
Yeah.
And you have to understand too. It has to do too with all the context of the show. We were getting into so many heavy things and so many beautiful things. And I mean, I was that age. I was the perfect age to go to college. Of course, I didn't. But.
You ain't done bad.
I did okay.
Yeah.
But I think when you're growing together at this age, and we had such an incredible synergy, and I don't know, it was lightning in a bottle. And I think the reason that you say most people in America aren't going to work to be in love with their coworkers is because it is rare. I mean, this is like one of those one-of-a-kind experiences where everybody knows each other's babies, everybody goes and hangs out and eats together and goes to each other's homes. I don't assume that this will happen again.
Yeah. And ensemble cast, Darryl, don't always work.
They sure
No, they don't.
bleep don't.
You can.
You didn't have to get me. I bleeped
Miles,
myself.
Miles is ready.
I bleeped myself, Miles. Okay. Okay.
It's a fact that, I tell most of my friends that I grew up with that as all of them got married, have kids, and do other things, we all lament the fact that we don't see each other that often. Like, I don't see you that often.
Not enough,
right?
Yeah.
And I say because we're all so busy that I've said to my closest friends, in order for us to see each other more, we got to work together. We got to find a way. That's exactly right.
That's a great idea to work on a project together.
Yes, we have to find something where we can make money together, where we can justify the time we want to spend together, so that your wives and children aren't saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Right? Say, "Well, we're making money." That's why. Not because you're out playing golf or drinking at the club or something like that.
I will say, Darryl gives such good phone. I talk to Darryl all the time. I love Darryl.
And that's what this tour has done for us. Aside from its substance, it has allowed all of us to be back together again. So you only have 2 of us here. When you put 7 of us in the room, you can't get a word out.
I would have if I could have fit all y'all in this one studio.
Yes,
I ain't got but 2 chairs. I had to pick 2.
But
well played.
You see the 2 I picked, right?
Yes,
okay.
But the love is real, and that's what. It's funny when we did the Today Show, Blaine Alexander, who was interviewing us, she said, y'all's chemistry is real.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't manufactured. The writers didn't make characters that got along. They took advantage of what they had here, and it's 100% true.
Yeah. And that's a testament to the success of the show. I think people can tell the authenticity of these friendships, and it definitely, it comes across.
You mentioned earlier, and Darryl was telling the story about the night Minister Farrakhan was here.
Yeah.
You mentioned just guys. I said, oh, no.
No, you said women as well.
Women as well.
Yeah. But that's a fair assumption, fellas.
That's fair enough. I can handle that.
Yeah. Let me interrogate you.
I can handle that. I'm going to be hearing that the rest of the show, I think. I'm going to hear that the rest of the show.
100%.
It's a punchline now.
Look,
let me interrogate you.
That is your version of entanglement.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you got interrogation.
You got interrogation.
Okay.
So go to Tavis and get some interrogation.
You need to go get on Tavis Smiley. He's going to interrogate you.
You know what? Maybe I did pick the wrong 2. Maybe I picked the wrong 2 because Jasmine and Kadeem wouldn't be doing this to me right now.
They would not.
They sure would.
They would not.
Where I was trying to go, Miss Summer, where I was trying to go.
Let's see where we're going.
This is crazy. Where I was trying to go was to give you an opportunity to share with me your feelings and your thoughts about the women and the voices that they had.
Oh, I love
These were
this
empowered
question.
voices.
Well,
on this
listen,
show. Yeah.
not only, I mean, never in my life have I been in a situation where we are the showrunner, the executive producer, the head writer, the director, and the star of the show, all female. You can't imagine for me starting the show at 18 how empowering that was. But not only for me, we had such incredible guest stars on the show. And I remember even Lena Horne saying to me, honey, I can't believe the positions that the women hold in this show. The reverberation all the way to the past, and her being just as blown away as we are. I hope that it becomes the norm and commonplace, and we don't have to be so shocked when we have these powerful women come together like this.
It's all the more arresting for me, though, when you think about the fact that happened then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's decades ago.
That's right. Yeah.
And by the way, just because she mentioned Lena Horne,
subtle flex.
I mean, come on. The fact that we are a part of a generation that had the chance to connect with luminaries like Lena Horne.
Yes.
And when you hear those stories about don't meet your heroes, often they can disappoint.
Yes.
She exceeded
she did.
every expectation of what you would hope she would be.
I have to say, we didn't have many assholes on the show. We really... you didn't get me. You didn't get me, Miles.
No, he got you. He got you.
Damn, I can't get Miles on his toes.
There's a little secret. You're on a 7-second delay.
Oh, God.
So Miles is always
Miles,
gonna
I'm
get
no
you.
longer impressed. I take it back.
We're talking to Cree Summer. We're talking to Cree Summer and Darryl Bell. This interrogation will continue when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. 6 construction workers are presumed dead after yesterday's bridge collapse in Baltimore, Maryland. Crews have resumed recovery efforts after the search for the missing workers was suspended Tuesday night because of diminished visibility and treacherous currents in the busy harbor. The head of the NTSB said the agency recovered the ship's voyage data recorder. An investigation into that incident could take up to 2 years to complete. Memphis, Tennessee is hosting 21 city mayors from across the country this week. Mayor Paul Young is launching the inaugural Black Mayors Coalition on Crime, which will be held today and tomorrow. Young says for the first time in history, there are an unprecedented number of mayors in U.S. cities. The meetings will focus on crime prevention and more. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary hair? Visit your local SoCal FS Cut and Color Salon today and let their team of expert stylists pamper you with affordable luxury. Get a free shampoo with every cut. Book your appointment today at fantasticsams.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers went 2 overtimes last night at Milwaukee without LeBron and still won. They beat Milwaukee by 4 to win their 4th straight. A monster game for Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves. AD had 34 points, 23 rebounds, and 4 block shots in 52 minutes. Reeves posted a triple-double with 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists. LeBron watched the entire game from the bench in street clothes. He's got a sore left ankle. The Lakers are 6-4 this season without LeBron. His status is uncertain for tonight's game in Memphis. The Clippers are back in action tonight in Philadelphia. Could be an interesting night for James Harden. It's his first time back in Philly since he forced the Sixers to trade him to the Clippers. The deal went down October 31st. Philly fans are not expected to be nice to him. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, home of the 2024 Climate Justice Campaign.
Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary hair? Visit your local SoCal FS Cut and Color Salon today and let their team of expert stylists pamper you with affordable luxury. Get a free shampoo with every cut. Book your appointment today at fantasticsams.com.
There are many healthcare organizations serving our community. Not all are dedicated to community partnerships that educate, build trust, inspire hope, and improve outcomes. Providence has a robust community outreach program and has dedicated $50 million over the next 5 years to support organizations addressing health disparities in local communities of color. Examples of this commitment include the Biddy Mason Community Wellness Center on the First AME campus, providing medical screenings, mental health therapy, nutrition, and culturally sensitive holistic classes. The Black Mamas Glowing Peer Support Group that focuses on maternal mental health, birth planning, and social support. Providence is committed to building trusted partnerships with community organizations to better understand and dismantle structural, racial, and cultural barriers to better health. During Minority Health Month, Providence is sponsoring Health for a Better World. Informative conversations with Providence health professionals on Urban Family Focus every Saturday in April at 7 a.m. To find a Providence Health System facility near you, log on to providence.org.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Are you interested in catching up on all the latest entertainment news, trending topics, and exciting interviews? I got you. Tune in to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. Join me every weekday with some of the best entertainment contributors in the business as we break down what's going on, who's got next, and what not to miss. Only on The Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
This Easter, March 31st at 11:07 a.m., ECM will be at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. We are inviting everyone to meet us there as we will be presenting the Black Resurrection Experience. What good is Jesus' resurrection if we are still living in cultural graves? ECM will present a stage play production that will address Black dignity, Black worth, Black unity, Black ownership, Black vote, police brutality, generational wealth, mental health, Black power through Jesus' power, and most of all, your purpose in life through the murder of Jesus Christ. And we will tell this entire story with singing, dancing, acting, rapping, with a little bit of preaching from yours truly, Pastor Shep. The Black Resurrection Experience. Easter morning at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. It's totally free, so come get your freedom.
Ready to re-examine your assumptions and expand your inventory of ideas? More of Tavis Smiley coming your way right now.
All right, we've done it, Cree.
We did it.
We played all three.
All three, baby.
And also the other thing that I love, I know Boys to Men.
Yeah.
I didn't know Aretha or Phoebe.
Right.
So, the fact that these were actually
Well,
homies of yours.
they're all three of them. Boys to Men, Phoebe Snow, and Aretha Franklin. First of all, it says something about the longevity of a show that you live long enough to do 3
Isn't that
versions
something?
of your theme song.
Yes.
There's
A
that.
lot of folk ain't got that testimony. As we say in the black church, they ain't got that testimony.
That's right.
That you survived long enough for there to be 3 different theme songs.
Yes, you did all right.
And that's true of us too. That's another thing. You know, I sit here and look at Cree and think she was 17 when she came to us, and now she's got girls.
I've
She's
got 2
kids.
babies. Well, my oldest daughter, Brave, is going to be 13 tomorrow.
Brave. I love
Her
that
name
name.
is Brave Little Wing. And then I
Wow.
have another daughter whose name is Hero Peregrine.
Wow, Brave and Hero.
Yes.
How does a mother make decisions to name her babies Brave and Hero?
Well,
I
I
love it.
wanted to name Brave because at the time it was my first child and I was feeling very afraid and I
Mhm.
wanted to affirm that I was going to be courageous. So I
Mhm.
put that on her.
Mhm.
And interestingly enough, she came to me when she was young and said, "I don't know if I want to be named Brave." And I said, "Well, you can be named whatever you want. This is your life."
Mhm.
And I think it's just a placeholder when a parent gives you a name.
Yeah.
I think it should always be up to the child, you know. But she digs it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, but not so funny. I've
Yeah.
told this story before. I was in an airport many years ago, and running to catch a plane. My assistant and I are about to miss this plane, and I tell him to run ahead and have them hold the plane if they can. This lady wants me to meet her 2 kids. She says, "Mr. Smiley, can you please meet my 2 kids?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna miss this plane. I said, "Where your kids at?" I said, "Where your kids at?" She said, "Hold on, I'll be right back." I said, "Oh man, these kids
Aren't even
They
here.
ain't even here yet."
Yeah.
She runs, gets the kids. She brings the kids to me. Set of twins, fraternal. And I get on my knees on the airport floor, hug them, take a picture, jump up, and get ready to take off. And I said, "Oh my God, I didn't even ask you your names.
Yeah.
How rude of me. I know I'm in a rush here." And I kid you not.
What's coming? I feel like we should brace ourselves. All right, whip it out. What is it?
Harry and Meghan.
Better.
Yes.
Alizé and Cavassier.
No. Now I'm just thirsty. That ain't the truth.
I am not making this up.
Oh,
Make it
Alizé
stop.
and Cavassier.
Make it stop. Well, they just went with what they like.
I'll
That's what
take
they like.
I'll take Brave and Hero any day.
Thank you. Well, Hero I named because Shakespeare had a goddess hero in his play. Yeah. As you like it.
But it means something to be named after something.
Yes.
And let's just keep it real. Too many black people have not done that consistently.
Yeah.
That is correct.
That we don't give kids names that actually mean anything. And how do you
we
grow
also
into
had names that were given to us that
Yeah,
didn't belong to
that's
us
exactly
when
true.
we were enslaved.
Now you're preaching. Now you're
well, I'm
preaching.
just wondering what is our association with
No.
naming ourselves if we haven't had that. And we can go back generation after generation where we weren't responsible for our own names, and now we get to be.
That's
you know.
powerful. That's powerful. I receive that.
I will take the other side of that argument. I would wish our folks would at least adhere to some sort of grammatical construct.
Some sort of grammatical construct. Yeah.
For all.
Well, there's that. Yes, there's
so
that.
if
Yeah.
you please take the liberty of the creativity and the significance.
At least spell Alizé correctly.
Yeah. attach it to something
That
we can make
reminds me.
some sense out of.
Now you got me thinking about another story. I was at a book signing one day with
ALLAZEY. Yeah.
I was and by the way, I've told many people I will give any Negro $1,000 right now.
Yeah.
If you can spell correctly Cavassier.
I can't.
Exactly.
Oh no.
I don't put
Can
that.
you spell Cavassier?
I've offered that money to all of my friends.
I could try.
All of my friends drink Cavassier. Can't none of them Negroes spell.
I don't drink
Cavassier.
Cavassier.
I don't.
I do maybe at gunpoint.
I'm a bourbon drinker, and I'm trying to see if I can reach my phone without tapping C.
I'm a tequila girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned about the names very quickly. I thought about a story. My mind's going to Maya Angelou now. We've been talking about Prince and Farrakhan and all the cast. So Maya Angelou and I were at a book. I was with her one day at a book signing. We were traveling together, and long story short, girl walks up to the line with her book. She hands Maya the book, and she says, "Maya says, what are your names, sweetie?" And she says, "Mary."
Yeah.
She's standing there very quiet. She says, "Mary."
Yeah.
Maya signs to Mary, Mary.
Yeah.
Joy, as she always did, exclamation point, joy.
Yeah.
Maya Angelou. She hands the book to Mary.
Oh no.
And Mary starts crying.
And
they're not tears of joy.
Yeah.
Mary is weeping.
Oh, Mary, don't you weep.
Exactly. I love Cree. She's quick. Mary, don't you weep. or wail.
Yeah.
Because she went into wailing.
Yes.
Bob Marley.
Yes.
Anyway,
Hey.
so she starts weeping and wailing, and Maya's like, "Sweetie, what is wrong?" And she said, "You misspelled my name."
I'm scared.
And Maya said, "What? You said your name was Mary?"
Yeah.
You stood right there and did. So I wrote Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Maya said, "What's the problem?" She said, "That's not how you spell it."
No.
That's how you spell it. M-E-R-R-I.
Oh, not even a Y. M-E-R-R-I.
And Maya said,
whoops.
And Maya just for half a second lost it. How the F was I supposed to?
Now, look, we're talking about one of the greatest mentors to human beings on the planet, right?
Yes.
And someone whose life was dedicated to writing.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So when you sit there and say, look, if you want to spell Bill, W-U-E-E-L, fine. But don't get mad at me when I spell it the way Bill is supposed to be spelled. That's all. Just, you can take the time and say, my apologies. I should have told you that I just like destroying the English language and rearranging letters however they are, like a Scrabble word.
Yeah. In a moment of grace, I'll never forget it. Yes. Maya said to her, after she composed herself, she said, give me the book, give me the book. Yeah. The young lady handed the book back to Maya. And Maya says, give me your mailing address. When I get back home, I'm going to send you a first edition copy of this book.
Get out.
With your name spelled correctly.
Well, be damned.
So Maya went home when the tour ended and sent the girl the book.
Wow.
With
M-E-R-R-I.
But how was Maya supposed to know?
Well, no one's supposed to. We're not supposed to know is the moral of the story.
I was waiting for you to say she sent her a first edition book, and the girl said, I can just take a second.
I'm not sure she understood the value.
The value, that's what I'm saying.
The first edition
I don't think M-E-R-R-I knew what the value of a
first edition book.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be talking about a different world.
Can we get back to different world?
Yes,
Let me just put my bong down.
This is how good the conversation is. Tavis done thrown his notes out the window.
I know.
We just.
I have no. For the two of you, I have no notes.
Okay, come on. Let's see what you got there.
All right, when we come forward.
Oh, when we come back.
Yeah, the interrogation will continue, and we will talk about. Imagine that. Let's talk about a different world.
Okay.
Let's talk about the reunion tour.
Okay.
Let's talk about helping HBCUs.
Yes.
Can we do that, Cree?
We can do that.
Can we do that, Darryl?
We can.
You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what politics is supposed to produce.
This election year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the place for politics. Unapologetically progressive politics. And we've got two of the best and brightest to help you cut through all the noise. Weekdays at 1 p.m., it's a More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Cordelai-Corte. And at 4 p.m., it's Areva Martin in real time. He's the university professor and distinguished member of the White House Correspondents Association. She's a best-selling author and Harvard-trained civil rights lawyer. And they are both here every day to help guide you through all the this year, because you know it's going to get deep. Get your politics on weekday afternoons at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. with a More Perfect Union, hosted by Dr. Nee Cordelai-Corte and Areva Martin in real time, only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your flag.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers!
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Try Venus for pubic hair and skin, the razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Discover the full regimen of products at GilletteVenus.com.
Who do you trust to get at the truth? Tavis, Smiley. That's who. The conversation continues right now.
It does indeed, with Darryl Bell and Cree Summer, two of the stars of Different World, now on their reunion tour, championing HBCUs. We'll talk about that in just a second here. Cree, the love is flowing in everywhere. All of our socials, et cetera, for you and Darryl. But here's something special for you. Okay. Please, Tavis, thank Cree Summer on behalf of all of us weirdos and hippies out there for representing on mainstream TV way back in the day, from someone who has followed her all the way back to when she was voicing Penny on Inspector Gadget.
Wow. I could just say to you, God bless the freaks, for the squares must beware, for the freaks shall inherit the earth.
There you go.
And it's been an honor to represent all of the ones on the outside.
Yeah.
And to be to have a character like Freddie Brooks, who was unabashedly herself, unafraid of maintaining herself, and didn't care what anybody said, because that's the main component, is you can't give a come on, Miles. You can't give a fuck what anybody thinks about you.
Wow.
Sorry.
She went there.
I went there.
She went there, but she forewarned you.
I forewarned you, Miles, yeah. But I think that's the most important thing. And Freddie was so brave about expressing her political beliefs and her beliefs about anything, you know.
This is going to sound like a strange question, but but hear me out.
Yeah.
What is the challenge? What's the challenge of playing a character who is not so far away from who you are anyway?
I don't think there's any challenge. You just show up and you're
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, I wasn't as clumsy. I mean, I don't walk into walls, and I.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But see, there's a prime example of when art started to imitate life.
Yeah.
So as they got to know Cree, they started to write more things around her that they could use.
Makes sense.
Similarly, when Ron first showed up, we didn't know that Ron worked for his father's company.
Or played the drums.
Which Darryl Bell does, or had done. So they took parts of our lives and wove them into characters because they back then, unlike Netflix now, where a season may be 10 episodes, we're doing 26 episodes.
Baby.
So, when you're sitting in that writing room in 3 o'clock, what would she write? Well, Cree likes motorcycles. We're going to put Freddie on a motorcycle.
Well, no, you're so right, because Freddie came in to be to someone who was just in suspended limerence and obsessed with Dwayne Wayne and in love with Dwayne Wayne. And then slowly she morphed into this real incredible political activist, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
But Darryl's right. It evolved from getting to know us better.
Tell me about this tour, Darryl.
Yes.
Listen, we've done events for decades that we'd just go to one college or one event, and they'd ask us, about A Different World and the legacy. Not only because since A Different World premiered in 1987, it's been available on television somewhere ever since.
Hey.
So
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
That has been very helpful. And so, the idea of doing a national HBCU tour has been floated for a long time, but many of our institutions, there's a cost to having speakers come and so forth.
Sure.
And we didn't want to burden, particularly some of the smaller schools with that. So we had been looking for partnership and sponsor support. And it wasn't until this year that I managed to forge a relationship with Cisco, and I'm going to give a shout out to Scott McGregor and Shonda Ishmael. They have been fantastic partners and doing it for the right reason, and that is to really provide an experience for college students that not only embraces A Different World's aspirational message, its significant messaging around subject matter that A Different World raised then that is still relevant today with respect to mental health, gun violence, racism, student protests, all of that. But also to really celebrate how many people come up to us in our show as opposed to many other shows where you may watch because you enjoyed it because it was entertaining.
Sure.
People come to us and say, I went to college because I watched A Different World.
That's right.
I'm an engineer because I watched A Different World. I'm a doctor because I watched A Different World. A Different World changed my life. There are people who said I'm an HBCU president because I watched it.
Well, also, let's talk about the representation. Also, each individual character. You know, we're not this monolith, and we really finally showed so many different aspects of young black life, and everyone saw themselves. Everyone said, "Oh my God, I'm Kim Reese," or "I'm Whitley Gilbert," "I'm Dwayne Wayne," "I'm the oddball," "I'm Freddie Brooks," and to see that reflection is so important.
I've often said that all we know, and in the space that we occupy, all we know is what we're giving.
Yes.
Not what folk are receiving.
Yes.
But when you hear from them what they receive from the gift that you shared, there's no greater honor.
I have to say something though, Darryl.
Hold that.
Oh, no.
Hold it.
I'll hold it.
Hold
Okay.
it. Can you hold it?
I can hold it.
Okay. Miles, do this fast so Cree
Come on, Miles.
So Cree can get her point out.
Unapologetically progressive. Unapologetically black. You're tapped into Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
My daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. They sent her straight to St. Jude. My hope was gone. But when you get there, everyone's like, hey, we're not going to give up. And when you see other people not giving up on your child, that makes all the difference in the world. When I found out I didn't have to pay, I was just grateful they saved my baby's life.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're looking for the most epic place on Earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Smart talk for curious people just like you. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
You're listening to Cree Summer, because Cree was about to say.
I was.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say that all this, yes, it's been possible for our incredible sponsors, but really Darryl Bell has been the champion behind this and has worked tirelessly and has really done everything, right down to making sure everybody's on the right airplane. And this is so impressive, and it just makes me feel like you're really your father's son in creating this for everybody.
That's Darryl Bell.
Yeah.
I love you for saying that. It is a labor of love. My company is producing the tour.
That's
so
right.
There's that. But it's the joy of knowing, because absent a reboot, and again, people ask about a reboot, and
Don't hold your breath.
But I say never for other reasons. But absent that, our ability to interact with our fan base, this is the only way we can do it.
Yeah.
And I've tried to express to folks that, to the extent some people say, do people even know who you are?
Yes.
We hear that.
And it's shocking. No, listen, man, it's been 35 years.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they have every right to have forgotten.
To ask the question.
Yeah, the question's okay.
When we walked into Spelman, you'd have thought the Beatles had just showed up.
You really would have.
And when Dr. Gale, the president of Spelman, asked, A Different World went off in 93. How many of you were born, after 93? And everybody's hand went up.
Everybody.
That
And they
speaks
still
to
know you.
collective.
And they do.
Yeah.
So then...
that's that Maya thing. We mentioned Maya earlier. Maya famously said that people may forget what you say, they may forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
100%.
And the way that y'all made us feel on this show,
Yes.
week in and week out, year in and year out, that's what we're holding on to, man. And to your point, people's lives were changed by that, man.
100%.
I got about 2 minutes left here. Tell me about the rest of the tour.
So
You got Howard left? You got
we have. So you should know, and you will appreciate this. So we have Howard on April 9th, but the morning of April 9th, we will be traversing to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yes, we will.
Y'all going to the White House?
Yes, we are. Paint the White House black.
I see.
We'll be at the White
One
House.
nation under a groove.
Hey,
That is correct.
just for the funk of
There
it.
you
We
go,
will
Cree.
assemble all of the HBCU graduates who work in the Biden and Harris administration. We're going to have a program where we talk about.
I think the vice president went to one of those schools, didn't she?
That is correct. And she, so they're working out their schedules to make that happen. And then afterwards,
It's election year. She'll be there. She'll be there.
Show you right. Truer words were never spoken.
She'll be there.
I tell you what, press conference will be. Yes.
And then the following day, on the 10th, we're all going to the Smithsonian, to the African American Museum
How cool is that?
History and Culture.
Where y'all should be enshrined.
Oddly
You
enough,
working on that?
somebody has said that the exhibit goes from the Cosby Show to Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I know some people are already laying in the cut to express their feelings.
I'm
about
sure.
it.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I celebrate. I'm out of time. I celebrate the fact that the two of you came to see me. I'll take back what I said. I did pick the right two. I picked the right two.
And we picked the right one.
Yes, we did. It's been an absolute delight to talk
I
to
have
you
enjoyed
today.
this immensely. Darryl Bell and Cree Summer, two
Love
of the
you,
stars.
friend.
I love you back, man. And more importantly, ain't nothing you can do about it.
There it is. That's what's up.
like a fat kid loves cake.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of time. That's it. Thanks for tuning in to
Shall
Tavis
they?
Smiley. And as always, keep the faith.
Whose world is this? It's mine, whose world is this? It's mine, whose world is this?
KBLA 1580.